They both practiced for a number of years, but their lives were ended very short. I was fortunate to know both of them. These two gentlemen were advocates of public service, legal education, and had high ethical standards throughout their virtual lives. To continue Bobby's legacy, public service, NLADA, and Robert J. Kutak Foundation annually bestow two prizes, the Kutak-Dodds prizes, to honor the accomplishments of one of the civil legal-aid attorneys and one public defender who, through the practice of law, are reinforcing the principle of justice for all under the law. Tonight, it's my genuine pleasure to present the 2023 Kutak-Dodds prizes to two very amazing women. Mary Day, staff attorney at Southern Arizona Legal Aid, and Amrutha, Jindal, chief defender, Operation Lone Star, are two women who work tirelessly in the field to serve those that are in need. Amrutha, would you please join me up here on the stage? Amrutha is the chief defender of the Operation Lone Star Defense Program at the Lubbock Private Defender's Office, where she oversees defense representation for indigent individuals. And the story of this woman's amazing accomplishments is pretty wonderful. In the summer of 2021, Texas Governor Greg Abbott launched Operation Lone Star in response to a rise in the number of immigrants, giving the Texas Department of Public Service authority to police branches and arrest immigrants largely for criminal trespass. This could have been a very severe constitutional crisis, as the United States court previously recognized, all of you probably know, that a person facing incarceration under a misdemeanor charge has a right, constitutional right, to an attorney. But there were few attorneys in the rural Texas Board of Counties. It was not how anyone anticipated this constitutional right being provided, but Amrutha stepped up and figured out a way to get it done. She instituted a program that was truly unheard of, marshaling a huge number of private attorney volunteers across the state of Texas. Amrutha was able to address a situation that could have been devastating to those entitled to counsel. Amrutha set up a system to recruit and train these lawyers such that competent representation was afforded to this population. It's because of her vision and commitment that thousands of those caught up by Operation Lone Star have quality representation today. We are honored tonight to give you a glimpse into Amrutha's inspiring story, so please join me as we watch a video on whatever TV screen, short video on the TV screen next to you.
My name is Amrutha Jindal, and I'm the Chief Defender of the Operation Lone Star Defense Program at the Lubbock Private Defender's Office. Operation Lone Star is Governor Greg Abbott's $4.1 billion border security initiative that was launched in the spring of 2021. Through this operation, law enforcement officers from around the state were deployed to the border, and the result is that thousands of people have been arrested here at the Texas-Mexico border. Most of the folks being arrested are charged with the crime of misdemeanor trespass. Others are charged with felony human smuggling. When the program first began, there was a worry that we could have a public defense crisis looming because most of the areas in which these individuals were getting arrested are smaller rural counties that do not have a robust defense bar. That's where my program steps in. The Lubbock Private Defender's Office serves as the indigent defense hub for Operation Lone Star cases. We've recruited attorneys from across the state to step in and represent these clients who are being arrested at the border. Our goal is to ensure that every single client that we represent receives a well-trained, compassionate defense lawyer who provides a high-quality level of defense in that individual's case. When I first became involved in Operation Lone Star, there were a lot of unknowns. The program was brand new, and no one really knew how the program would operate. We just knew that it was going to be different than the typical criminal case in Texas. Early on, my colleagues and I drove out to the town of Dilley, Texas, where a prison unit is located. We had been assigned 50 clients to represent, and we went into the interview room and met with them one after the other. What we heard was heartbreaking. We heard story after story from clients who talked about the long, arduous journey they had made to get to the United States, only to cross the border and to be arrested. We heard stories from clients who explained that they were coming here in order to escape dangerous, violent conditions in their home country, with the dreams of finding a safer place in the United States. Stories from clients who told us about how they struggled so much with money that they were coming to the United States with the hope that they could earn a living wage to be able to support themselves and their loved ones. We kept hearing over and over again clients saying, "Why am I here? Why am I in prison? Why am I in a jumpsuit? Why am I being treated like this? I'm not a criminal. I was just trying to find a better life." From arrest to adjudication, Operation Lone Star designed an entirely new criminal legal system here in Texas. And it's a system that is separate and unequal and designed specifically to criminalize migration. I myself am the child of immigrants. My parents came to the United States in the 1970s from India with the dream of finding a better life for themselves and their families. It's that same dream, that same hope, that most of my clients in Operation Lone Star share. Yet here, that dream is being criminalized. Our job as defense lawyers is to not only zealously advocate for our clients, but to also infuse humanity into a system that is specifically designed to deprive our clients of it. It's an honor for me to get to do this work and to get to represent my clients each and every day.
And the Robert J. Kutak Foundation, it is my pleasure to present Amrutha Jindal with the Kutak-Dodds Defender Award. Thank you so much. That was my first time seeing that video. Wow, I'm completely blown away. I'd like to first start off by thanking NLADA, the Kutak Foundation, for this tremendous honor. Receiving this kind of recognition from a community like this, a community of justice-minded individuals, is just such an honor and such a highlight in my professional career. I'd also like to thank Jeff Burkhart with the Texas Indigent Defense Commission for nominating me and for providing me with a lot of guidance and support over the last couple of years that we've been working together. I started off my public defender career at the Federal Defenders in San Diego, and in that role I represented clients on the border and had the good fortune of being trained and mentored by some of the very best defense lawyers in the country. And it was my experience and time there that gave me the skills and the confidence to be in a position where I felt ready and able to tackle on a new project like Operation Lone Star. I joined Operation Lone Star as the Chief Defender in January of 2022, thanks to the bold leadership of the Lubbock Private Defender's Office's Executive Director, Shannon Evans, who's actually present today. Thank you, Shannon. Shannon had the courage to commit her office to the daunting task of creating a defense program for Operation Lone Star at a time where there weren't a lot of public defender offices in the state
I will say that, in my opinion, what is happening at the Texas-Mexico border is one of the biggest humanitarian and criminal justice crises that is going on in our country today. Too often our leaders, our elected officials, jump to criminalization and incarceration as solutions to complex problems that deserve thoughtful and more nuanced approaches. And that's what we have happening in Texas. The clients that we represent, as you saw in the video, are for the most part individuals who are seeking a better life, individuals who are seeking a safer home. But when we talk about the border so frequently, especially when we're watching the news, we hear numbers, we hear statistics, but people don't frequently enough talk about the actual human toll that programs like Operation Lone Star are taking on our clients. And as April said, we fight, and those clients are who we fight for. I am grateful to be a part of this fight along some of the most brilliant and passionate members of the defense program that I am lucky to work with each day, from defense attorneys to advocates to interpreters to administrative staff. There are so many individuals who threw themselves into the unknowns of this program because they knew that they wanted to be on the right side of history and they wanted to be a part of pushing back on this program and the injustices that our clients experience because of it. So I thank you all for the support, and I share the support with all of my colleagues who this work would not be possible without. They are the true heroes who are tirelessly fighting each day for our clients at the border. Thank you so much.
Pretty amazing. All right, our next awardee, Mary Day, is an attorney at the Southern Arizona Legal Aid in Mississauga. And Mary has been practicing in the trenches for a number of years and has made a huge difference in what she's done. Mary, would you please join me on the stage? SALA is the only federally funded legal aid and nonprofit law firm in Arizona, providing free legal services to low-income immigrants facing domestic violence or who have been a victim of crime. Mary's 25 years SALA career has been focused exclusively on serving this population. Her work gives clients not just hope, but the ability to increase their income, put food on the table, and put her forward in lives. Mary's storied career was filled with incredible accounts of hope lost and then found, often through the efforts provided by Mary. I wish I could share with you all the stories that were in the nominating papers that were submitted for Mary, because they were just amazing. And they really do show that her career and her ability to change the lives of others is truly inspirational. Please join me in watching a brief video about Mary Day on the TV screen in front or near you.
I'm Mary Day. I'm a staff attorney at Southern Arizona Legal Aid in the Immigration Unit. The focus of my practice is filing affirmative applications to the U.S. Immigration Service for survivors of domestic violence and other crimes. Since 1999, I've filed hundreds of VAWA self-petitions, U and T visas, and other remedies under the Violence Against Women Act and related statutes. I spend a lot of my time listening to people describe some of the worst moments of their lives. Most of my clients are living in very difficult situations, if not desperate situations. And honestly, after a long week, it's occurred to me more than once that there are people who do not deal with human suffering on a daily basis at work. And I could be one of those people if I wanted to be. But I love my job. Over the years, I've called hundreds of clients to let them know that their work permit or their visa came in the mail. Many times, there'll be a long pause, and then I'll realize that my client is overwhelmed, unable to speak, sometimes sobbing. That work permit represents years of struggle and pain and worry and fear, and it also represents the opportunity to shed all of those things and to begin making choices free of fear. It is my deepest honor to be a part of that moment. There is no justice. There's just us. My favorite public defender, my husband, said this to me, quoting his boss years ago. And I don't practice criminal law, but I think about this phrase and what it means to me all the time. Immigration law in practice has very little to do with justice in any sense of the word. Applying for immigration benefits is often inhumane. The results are many times unfair. It's very important to me that my communications with my clients reflect and affirm their dignity, regardless of the results of the case. But if I can get a result that actually allows someone to be more free, that's electrifying and it's sustaining, and it means that I'll always get more out of my job than I put into it.